Hello and welcome to We Love Anatomy. Today we are going to talk about homeostasis and feedback loops. Homeostasis is the process by which living organisms maintain a stable internal environment. This stability is necessary for normal functioning and survival. The body regulates factors like temperature, pH, blood glucose levels, and water balance to stay within a normal range. Each of these parameters has a set point where the body functions optimally. For example, the set point for body temperature is about 37 degrees Celsius. Homeostasis is maintained through feedback loops, biological mechanisms that detect changes and respond accordingly. There are two different types of feedback loops: negative feedback loops and positive feedback loops. The most common type of feedback loop in the body is the negative feedback loop. Negative feedback occurs when homeostasis has been disrupted, and it works to reverse the disruption and return the body back to its physiological set point. The body uses negative feedback to control things like temperature and blood sugar. There are three components in the negative feedback system: the sensor, the control center, and the effector, which you can see here on the left. The sensor or receptor is the component that detects a change in the internal environment. It then sends this new information to the control center. The control center processes this new information and decides what needs to happen to counteract this change. The control center then sends a command to the effector, which is the part of the body that is able to reverse the initial change. Let's use the example of temperature in your house. You set your thermostat for 65 degrees to keep your house cool in the summer. When the temperature in the house rises, the thermometer, which is the sensor, detects this change and sends the information to the thermostat, which is the control center. Next, the thermostat sends a signal to the air conditioner, which is the effector, to turn on. This decreases the temperature back down to 65 degrees, the set point, to restore homeostasis. This process is the same in the body, but the players are a bit different. The sensors are nerve cells in the skin and brain that monitor body temperature. The control center is the hypothalamus, the area of the brain that controls body temperature. And the effector, how we change body temperature, is either the muscular system, which can produce heat, or the sweat glands, which can expend excess heat. Let's review negative feedback of temperature in the body, like we did in the house. First, an increase in body temperature is detected by the nerve cells in the skin and brain. These sensors send that information to the hypothalamus, the control center. The hypothalamus sends a command to the sweat glands, the effectors, to produce sweat. The body loses heat through sweating, and body temperature returns to normal. The other type of feedback system in the body is the positive feedback system. Positive feedback systems work to amplify a change in the system rather than to reverse it. There are two processes in the body that are controlled through positive feedback. The first example of positive feedback is childbirth. As you can see here, when a woman is in labor, the pressure of the baby's head against the cervix causes the release of the hormone oxytocin from the pituitary gland. Oxytocin stimulates additional uterine contractions. Uterine contractions then put pressure from the baby's head back on the cervix, causing the release of additional oxytocin. This cycle will continue until the baby has been born, there's no more pressure on the cervix, oxytocin release stops, and uterine contractions stop. Another example of positive feedback is blood clotting. When a blood vessel is damaged, it must be repaired quickly to prevent blood loss. Platelets adhere to the damaged vessel and become activated. Once activated, the platelets release additional chemical signals to recruit and activate more platelets. Once the injured vessel has been sealed by a blood clot, chemicals are released which stop the positive feedback loop so the clotting does not continue unchecked. Let's do a quick review. The body has set parameters for physiological conditions where it functions optimally. Any change to those conditions triggers a negative feedback loop to oppose the stimulus and return the body to its homeostatic state. We also reviewed two examples of positive feedback loops in the body, which accelerate a change to achieve a goal, such as in childbirth and blood clotting. We hope you enjoyed this presentation, and we'll see you back next time.